Here we go. There's going to be ranty aspects, don't get me wrong. This second part, I never could come up with a good way to phrase it that wasn't just making me sound like I'm stealing lines from the Bible, which I have no intention of doing. I believe in these two things, people. I believe in the idea of turn the other cheek. And I believe that love is the best way to improve the world. Turn the other cheek, if you're not familiar with that phrase, maybe it doesn't translate over to Europe so well, is a lot like being the bigger man, or here's an example, because I am having a problem phrasing it. I was at a bar with my friend several years ago. Yes, I had been drinking some. And he was talking with some random dude. The jukebox hits. I love music. I run up to my friend to sing the song in his ear or give him a shout out for the jukebox. The dude slaps me in the face. Open hand slap. This is almost a literal example of turn the other cheek. So I could choose to get into a bar fight at that point and get some revenge. Probably get kicked out of your bar. Not my friend, the random dude he was talking to. If it was my friend, I would have leveled him. But I kind of liked that bar. I was going there a lot with my friends. That was part of it. Part of the thing is, if I get in a bar fight, I might be banned from this bar forever, and I didn't really want that. This guy was a dirty hippie, by the way. Truth of the matter is, I'm actually a dirty hippie too. But this guy was a dirtier hippie. Anyways, I just shook it off. I mean, to tell you, I was in shock. It has been a long time since I've been slapped in the face. Now that I have kids, it happens much more often, so maybe I would have had a better response, but I don't know what happened. But I did not get in a bar fight. And in fact, the dude kind of tried to come at me later. I kind of twisted his arm under the bar. He tried to touch me or something, and I just... a little bit of chinna. I don't know if you guys know what chinna is, but just kind of grab the wrist, bend it at a 90-degree angle, and turn it. I didn't whip him down to the ground with it, but at that point, I think he was well aware that he should not be touching me anymore. But that's basically what turn the other cheek is. But it's more than about physical stuff like that. It's what if someone is being a racist to you? Do you punch him in the mouth? Do you start to get in a war of words and be racist back or be, bigoted back or whatever? Or do you just let it slide off your shoulder? I'm in favor of letting it slide off your shoulder. And it kind of ties to point number 2. Yeah, I know that I agree, Shar, which is why I tried to make the other one not a Bible thing. Because I was going to say love thy neighbor, and then it was just double Bible, and that's really not where I'm coming from. But I really think that you should try to be friendly to other people and try to come from a point of love and respect for other people. We are all unique individuals. We're all special. We're all important. And I think everyone deserves treatment like that, at least initially. So even though someone is doing something pretty heinous, I like to try and think that there's a better way to solve it. Now, this is freaking hard, people, and this is, I think, kind of where the rants come from. To live like this is hard as fuck. It's really hard. Because all around me, people who are dicks all the time are getting way ahead in life. And that's completely relative what you mean by way ahead. But for example, President of the United States, that dude's a dick. He's come pretty far being a dick. He certainly does not love everyone. I doubt he's turned the other cheek very often. I don't want to pick on him. Like, check out anyone in the pharmaceutical industry. Check out those heads of Volkswagen, if we want to stretch it to Europe, who just had that scapegoat. Check out anyone in the banking industry. Check out anyone in politics. Like, there is a bunch of dicks running around the world, and they have plenty of power and money, and I don't think they deserve it at all. And stomaching that on a daily basis is really fucking hard for me. It's really hard. And I love this philosophy, and I'm going to keep trying to live by it, but I'm telling you, yeah, Shard, I'm going to stay away from the Christian church rant. Let me just say that organized religion is probably the worst thing to ever happen to religion, if you ask me. Organized religion ruined religion. Yeah, dick, yeah. I mean, some of getting ahead is not getting ahead. Like, so you have $1 million and you've been a dick your whole life. Like, maybe you're dead inside. Like, maybe you cry yourself to sleep at night and you don't know it. So, like, getting ahead is a relative term. But I think you guys all know what I'm saying. You see these assholes, Harvey Weinstein, those kind of people, like, those dudes are dicks. And they've been getting away with it and getting ahead for long, and it just freaking riles me up, raises my hackles. And that's what gets me into these rants and other things. But I still endorse this philosophy. That's a good one, Huge. And the world is not a great place. So Joe Rogan, how much time we got? Ugh. We're a little short on time. I really wished I had more time for this. Joe Rogan claimed on one of his talk shows. Joe Rogan is the dude from Fear Factor and UFC, who I used to just detest. But I've actually come almost full circle around with Joe Rogan. But Joe Rogan said it's the greatest time to be alive. Maybe if you're a rich white dude in America, it is the greatest time to be alive, because a rich white dude in America 20 years ago didn't have a cell phone or something. But if you're alive and poor in Syria right now, is it the greatest time to be alive? I'm not sure it is. I think maybe I would have rather been alive and poor in Syria 100 years ago. Because I think it's a shitty time to be alive in Syria right now. So I don't like that statement that it is now the greatest time to be alive. It's fine if you're a rich white dude in America. Could be the greatest time to be alive. But that is not a philosophy I endorse at all. I think there's a lot of places where it is not the best time to be alive right now. There's genocides and ethnic cleansing going on. That is not a good time to be alive. Go back 100 years. It's probably better. Anyway, to have another illusion here. That could be true, California. So this love heals all thing is tough for people. And it's tough for me to believe in sometimes too. But Norm Macdonald did actually a funny bit. The bit wasn't supposed to be recorded. It was, and is actually entitled Hitler's Dog now, which is pretty silly. But he talks about dogs because they're like something of true love, you know? You look at your dog and your dog always loves you. You wake up in the morning, your dog's like, I love you. You go somewhere, your dog's like, hey, I love you. And like, all the time it's love. And like, it's licking you in the face. And eventually you're just like, get the fuck out of my face. I love you too, but maybe too much love is too much for humans to handle. And I thought that was kind of a great example. Like, even though a dog has nothing but love for you and that's all it wants, at some point you're just like, ugh, too much love. And then he segues that into Hitler's dog. He's like, Hitler had a dog. And dogs love their owners. And he does a little bit like, Hitler was gone and the dog's running around. He's like, oh, Goebbels, I like you a little bit, but I really love Hitler. And so I thought that was a funny bit, but maybe all love is too much for people to handle. But there is just too much war and too much stuff like ethnic cleansing, too much economic disparity for me to think this is the greatest time alive, and that how we're operating on like an emotional, spiritual, philosophical level is good. Like, I think more love is probably the solution. If you love someone else, you're not going to be trying to rip them off every 3 seconds. If you love someone else, you're not going to get in a war over like a tiny piece of land or an oil price. If you love someone, you're going to try to find a better solution to the problem than whatever's easiest for you. So I think love can go a long way. Can it go too far in the Norm Macdonald dog? I don't know. I think that's pretty good, Shard. The graveyard bug was noted. I don't know if education... Well, I went to a university, and I know a lot of doctors, and they're educated. But they're dicks. Those are the exact people I'm talking about getting ahead. Some of my friends were dicks. Like, you can have friends who are dicks. If they're your friends, normally they're not a dick. But you still know they're dicks, and they're dicking people around all the time. And it's getting them ahead. I mean, I understand what you're saying, Entropy. But education is a weird word. It's more about just being open-minded, to me. I don't know. It's just really hard for me to live this way when all these dicks are running around doing better, getting ahead. I wouldn't say doing better. I'm really happy with where I am in life. But they're doing better than a lot of people who are good people who deserve to do better. But they don't because they're not as big of a dick. I don't know how you educate values or principles. I don't know. There's a lot of bad fucking parenting. That's for sure. That's not helping anything. And a lot of these bad parents are having more kids than good parents are having, which also probably is not helping anything. But damn, I certainly believe that a little more love could make this whole world run a little bit better. With a lot less bullshit. But as long as dicks keep getting rewarded, they're going to keep being dicks. And I don't know what would change their mind from being dicks if you're getting rewarded from it. And like maybe people say, oh, on their deathbed, they're going to have this great realization that they were a hollow, shallow person and come to terms. Well, fuck you. That's too late. Be a dick your whole life, and then on your deathbed you like get a present that actually, oh, you come to terms with all this shit? Bullshit. Come to terms with it now. Stop being a dick now. Don't wait for your deathbed when you're gone. Common sense is also a tricky word. Decency is once again a tricky word. These are all very tricky words. Like, You could say being decent to a person is the same as showing them love and respect. I just chose the word love because I know it's a weird word for people too. I love you, man. Like it's a little weird and a little heavy sometimes for people, but decency on like the bad side, I feel like can lead to political correctness to a point that's just ridiculous. Like you can go too far with political correctness. Holy crap, Jester. Yes, Jester, I agree with that. I'm sure CGB has a sweet video. Anyway, folks, this was lesson 1. I have, there's more stuff, but this is the basis I'm coming from, and this is why I come up with these rants a lot of the time. It's because I'm trying to do this, and the world is just fucking driving me mad. Trying to tell me that this isn't right. That I should be more of a dick. Or that stepping on another person is the way to get ahead in life. And I just don't believe in that shit. And that's why I get into these other rants. So thanks for hanging out. I appreciate all your guys' opinion on this. When I get in these rants, I can't always respond to everything because I'm really trying to keep my train of thought here. But I do appreciate all your comments, and I do go back over these streams, especially the rants. I rewatch the rants because sometimes there was one rant I wasn't sure if I was going to post, but I do take your comments to heart, guys, and I appreciate your viewership, especially during this non-magic portion of the stream. But that is Monk Philosophy Lesson 1. I'm pretty close to an astrology rant.